Hey guys, wanted to make a video before the market opens because there's some danger for Bitcoin. And the danger is that we do have a CME gap forming right now at $92,000 exactly, which I posted over on my Twitter. And right now Bitcoin is trading at $94,400 and there is a very high chance that we end up rolling a little bit to the downside. So in this video, I want to talk about exactly that, if this pump is over and if Bitcoin is going to come back down to the 80s and what we should be doing with our long positions, and also about Ethereum, because I think Ethereum is presenting a wonderful opportunity. I just came back from my friend's house and he's actually an Ethereum billionaire. So I want to talk about Ethereum and tell you why, right? It actually looks incredibly good on the weekly time frame. So if that sounds interesting, then make sure to destroy the like button and subscribe to become a crypto kid. And guys, it is officially Token 2049 week. I'll be at a bunch of side events. Today, it was the Crypto Polo Cup. I missed it, unfortunately, but I'll be at a bunch more side events going into this week. And of course, being at the main show, Token 2049 itself. So if you want to catch me, that is where I will be in Dubai. And with that said, let's go into the Bitcoin CME chart and discuss what could be happening to Bitcoin in the immediate short term. So when we look at this chart here, this is the Bitcoin CME. You can see we have a bearish divergence, prices in a rising wedge formation, and you have a very clear CME gap on the 4-hourly time frame over on the CME chart. So if we go to Bitcoin futures 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that there is a bearish divergence and that there is a very nice CME gap at $92,000. So what I would be doing if I was you is to scale into some Bitcoin longs, low leverage, or buy into spot Bitcoin at around 93, because the CME was trading at a premium last week. So $92,000 on the spot price would equal to around $93,000. So that is something I would be doing. But don't be afraid if we do get a little bit of a rolling over in price action. Here you can see a bit of a head and shoulders pattern, a bit of a Bart Simpson pattern. It doesn't look like the most bullish thing in the world. So I'm expecting a rolling over in price. Nothing drastic. We did say that we're at resistance and it could take some time for Bitcoin to get above this resistance. Over on the daily time frame, I can show you that the resistance we're at is no joke. And I'm still remaining in my long positions. I'm not doing anything different. But right here where the price has been hitting, Bitcoin does go back and find support and find resistance over the past couple of months. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a correction, a healthy correction. I think it's completely normal and would not cause anybody too much pain. It is possible that we see a little bit of a drop down to the levels, which I will tell you right now. Likely at the 88.5 to between 91.5. I don't think there will be a too extravagant drop, but a short-term rollover to the downside is definitely possible. So I would be setting limit orders between, let's say, 88.3. So this would be 1 right here. So 88.3. This would be a great retest. So 88.3. And then I would be looking at 91.6 as two potential entry targets into Bitcoin long positions, into dollar cost average into Bitcoin. So there we go, 1 and 2 right there. And obviously the CME gap is at around $93,000. So that would be another good one to do. Obviously, we don't have to follow this. Like, I'm just showing you this because there is a higher probability chance that Bitcoin does end up coming a little bit to the downside before pumping, but we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. There is still a chance that we continue pumping exactly from where we are going into the beginning of next week. It is definitely on the table. So that's why I'm not removing any long positions. I'm just going to be buying more because the macro setup is very much bullish. In the short term, yes, maybe for like a couple of days, we see a bit of a correction. But I think the macro scenario does look like Bitcoin is about to blast off to the upside. Of course, I'm not going to even bring up the global M2 money supply anymore. This is a bug, by the way. So this chart has been going viral on Twitter. This is a bug. This is not true. So FYI. Okay, that's Bitcoin. Now, another thing that I want to get into very quickly is the Ethereum USDT chart. So I think Ethereum is a great buy, and I wanted to give homage to my friend who made billions of dollars literally from Ethereum. And I just want to tell you that if you buy 10 Ethereum, I think there's a very good chance you're going to 5x your money minimum, or let's say conservatively 5x your money. So 10 Ethereum, I think has a good chance of getting you over $100,000 by the end of this year. And the reasons that follow are because of, this chart, which is that we're testing incredible amount of support on the linear time frame over on the weekly, or the linear graph on the weekly time frame. This is an incredible line of support. I think it's a great buy. We're also in the logarithmic regression band of Benjamin Cohen on the weekly time frame, showing you that it is fair value to jump into Bitcoin or Ethereum. And then you look at Ethereum Bitcoin charts. So Ethereum valued in Bitcoin is also bouncing off from critical support, of which when we were bouncing off from this level the last time in 2019, the price of Ethereum exploded to the upside from a couple of $100 to not even, almost like $200, all the way to 4,500. So I actually did decide to sell a little bit of my Bitcoin, very tiny, to buy into Ethereum because I think it's just phenomenal value to be doing that right now. I don't think Ethereum is going to last for another 20 years, but I do believe that in this quantitative easing / altcoin season, Ethereum will do very, very well, going to the $5 to $6 to even $7 to $8,000 region. And I mean, it is the second largest cryptocurrency after all, right? Everybody knows Ethereum. And in an altcoin season, Ethereum is going to pump. So I just think it's so undervalued, so hated. And that's why I think Ethereum is looking like a phenomenal buy at the moment. And just as an honorary mention, XRP is up very nicely. If you've been following the Moon Show, we've been talking about a daily time frame falling wedge. We actually did open an XRP position on this channel and on the Moon Show channel. I really like this retest. We were forming a head and shoulders, but we're invalidating that, which is great. Retested this, and I think we should be going towards I think the $2.9 level is not a bad target for XRP. That would be following Bitcoin to where we were able to pump to back when President Trump introduced the fake crypto strategic reserve, which would be a 30% pump to the upside. We have a 5x leverage long position over on weeks for XRP, and I think that will do very, very well. So guys, thank you so much for watching. It's super late at night, but I just wanted to make this update video for Market Open. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next video very soon. Take care, and as always, bye-bye.